am making homemade chicken broth, and with this I am going to actually make another version of chicken and dumplings. So for this, what you're going to do is put 12 cups of cold water in a big stock pan. Then you're going to add 2 bay leaves to that water, about half a teaspoon of black pepper, and a medium onion, and I cut it up into large chunks. And then I just used baby carrots because it's easier, but you can use whole carrots, and what you're going to do is just cut them up and peel them and then throw them in here. Also, I have a leg quarter and then 2 actual chicken legs, because that's just what I had on hand after separating everything. That was what was left. And use 2 leg quarters, all chicken legs. It really doesn't matter. Just make sure you have chicken on the bone in there. You're gonna just let this simmer on a medium heat. It's just at a really good simmer for about 2 hours. And then after that, you come back to it. Make sure you're continuing to stir. And what you're gonna do after this is simmered for 2 hours is drain everything. And what I did was just put a strainer over the pot here. And then I drained everything into here, and now I'm just gonna let this cool so I can take out the skin and the bone and then just kind of shred up the chicken. It's already falling off of the bone, so I really don't have a lot to do. It's just extremely hot. And you're also going to want to take out your bay leaves as well. So I'm just going to let that sit here and cool until it's cool enough for me to handle without burning myself. Alright, so once you let your broth sit for a little bit, you're going to skim the top and you're going to remove like that. There's like a fat layer of grossness on top. Just skim that off of there. In my pan, I put all of my shredded chicken, make sure there was no bone in there, and then I went ahead and I could see the line from where I had lost some liquid. So I went ahead and filled that back up with water. And I added a couple peas to that, frozen peas. And I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of seasoning to that, to the chicken broth. And what I'm going to do is just a little bit of salt, not a lot, and probably a little bit of poultry seasoning and celery seed. You can also add celery to this yourself when you're making the broth, when you toss in the carrots. Heating my pan back up, I got to get it back to a kind of like a simmer. You want a good simmer. I went ahead and made my dumplings, and this is just using Bisquick, but I used half. Bisquick recommends, because I don't like a lot of dumplings in my chicken and dumpling soup. I also have the way to make dumplings if you don't have Bisquick on hand. I will put that in the description box, but it is very, very simple to make the dumplings yourself if you don't have Bisquick. I just had Bisquick and I want to try to use it up, so that's why I'm using the Bisquick today. So there you have it. I'm just waiting on this to get up to a boil again, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to get it onto a boil, and if you're using the Bisquick method, you're going to do 10 minutes covered and then 10 minutes uncovered. If you're doing the flour dumpling, you're going to just do 10 minutes covered and possibly another 10 minutes uncovered depending on the size of your dumplings. You really just need to make sure that the dumplings are cooked all the way through and they're not doughy. And that is the chicken and dumpling with homemade chicken broth. Yes, it's good. You try it, I hope you like it, and you can always add more salt, more pepper, and what other seasonings you wish to this.